Today we're talking about Twitter labeling tweets from public figures because they might be breaking the rules. Apparently, a lot of people are up in arms because Trump does things on Twitter that people point out as being this is against the rules, and the defense has been it's covered under their public figure or newsworthiness policy, essentially just protecting politicians. It's kind of gross though because even though it's a public platform, they're just kind of coming out and saying we don't care if public figures say really fucked up shit because it's news. It's okay, and we're just going to leave it up there for any and all to see. So I'm. Oh, you wanted to say something?
I was just going to say, I know Kyle Kulinski did a really good video on this topic, and the the main criticism that I took away from that is that this is essentially just a middle ground position that Twitter is taking so that it doesn't have to actually make any kind of a moral stand on this issue. And so the end result is that they're not going to actually apply their rules in a way that is equitable and universal to its members. And so I think that I interpret what Kalinsky was saying as being, you know, outright opposed to this solution for the problem. And I think I would agree. I think that the tweets that Trump does should just be removed. I don't think that we should be taking this middle ground of saying that it's because you're a head of state, you can make threats of violence on the platform and we'll leave it up with a small annotation. But anybody else who has less power, if they do the same thing, then we'll smash them with the cudgel of the terms and conditions policy.
Well, and you know what? I suspect it's probably a purely like corporatist thing. Because even in the RNCC dinner, Trump had said something along the lines of like, "Boy, we're getting a lot of mileage out of that tweet, huh?" And it's because anytime somebody mentions, "Oh yeah, Trump said on Twitter today," da da da, it's like free branding, free marketing for Twitter. Like they're a company, they're a business, they want funding, they got ads, all this. So of course they want that publicity, even if it's dipshit stuff that the president is saying. They know that people aren't going to necessarily associate Trump to Twitter. They're just going to hear the name Twitter and think, oh well, I have to see this for myself, and now I'm on the website looking at the ads and this and that. So it's probably not a moral position. It's probably a profiteering corporatist BS, and it's I don't know. Maybe it shouldn't be surprising, but I guess I'm just disappointed because these companies purport themselves as billboards of free speech and fairness and so on, but then they don't actually care when it comes right down to it.
No, I totally agree. And Trump consistently is unhinged and deranged on their platform. We've done videos in the past about his tweets where literally every sentence contains a mistruth, a direct lie, a propaganda idea, a talking point, something, a dog whistle, some kind of fucked up content.
Tribalistic.
Something in every sentence of these screeds. That's the right word, right? Screed.
I think so. Yeah.
And so the move that they're doing here is overtly opportunistic, and it's corporatist, and it just continues the status quo, and it's effectively them just saying we're not going to do anything to stop what Trump is doing. We're just going to cover our own ass in a really piecemeal way by adding these meaningless annotations that are not going to matter to anybody that is important. For anyone who it would be important for them to understand that what's being said is not appropriate or is wrong or is factually incorrect, those people are not going to be affected by this simple annotation.
And I mean, it would be hilarious if Twitter just said, "Oh, we're going to come out with a labeling system where every time there's a tweet that posts something that is factually false, we'll go ahead and label it that way." But of course, they're not going to do that. And don't mind the dog.
Yeah, so I guess on that note, I mean, we've basically said what we want to say. So, in general, I just think this is kind of a weak move on Twitter's part.